Have you ever wondered how a single family could accumulate a fortune so vast it reshaped entire industries and rivaled the GDP of small countries? The Rockefeller family, once worth a staggering $360 billion in today's dollars, built an empire that defined modern capitalism and lost it within just a few generations. From John D. Rockefeller, the world's first billionaire who rose from poverty to dominate the oil industry, to the family's legacy of philanthropy that funded groundbreaking medical research and iconic institutions like the Rockefeller Center, this is a story of unmatched ambition and power. But it's also a cautionary tale of the limits of wealth. How did Standard Oil, a company that controlled 90% of the U.S. oil market, revolutionize business but trigger its own downfall? Why did the family's vast fortune, spread across industries and generations, gradually fade into the pages of history? Join us as we uncover the secrets behind the Rockefellers' meteoric rise, their brutal business strategies, and the forces that led to their eventual decline. This isn't just the story of a family. It's the story of how wealth, power, and legacy can shape the world. John D. Rockefeller, born on July 8, 1839, in Richford, New York, grew up in poverty. His father, William Devil Bill Rockefeller, was a cunning con artist who often left the family to fend for themselves while he pursued dubious ventures. John's mother, Eliza Rockefeller, was a devout and hardworking woman who instilled in him values of discipline, frugality, and a strong work ethic. These traits would become the foundation of his immense success. As a child, John was entrepreneurial, finding ways to contribute to the family's income. At 16 years old, after dropping out of school, he secured a bookkeeping job in Cleveland, Ohio, marking a significant turning point in his life. He celebrated the day he started work, September 26, 1855, as Job Day for the rest of his life. Over time, he developed an acute understanding of business operations, managing finances, and negotiating deals. In 1863, at the height of the Pennsylvania oil boom, Rockefeller invested in his first oil refinery in Cleveland with his partner, Maurice Clark. The oil industry was in its infancy, with crude oil primarily used for producing kerosene to light lamps. Recognizing the potential, John bought out Clark's share of their business in 1865 for $72,500, a bold move that would shape his destiny. By 1870, Rockefeller founded Standard Oil Company, aiming to dominate the chaotic and unpredictable oil market. His focus on efficiency, innovation, and cost-cutting positioned him as a pioneer in the industry. At just 31 years old, Rockefeller had transformed himself from a bookkeeper earning 50 cents a day to the owner of one of the most promising oil companies in America. The stage was set for Standard Oil's meteoric rise. Standard Oil, established in 1870, was Rockefeller's vehicle for dominance in the oil industry. His strategy was clear: eliminate competition, control supply chains, and negotiate favorable deals. A master tactician, Rockefeller secured railroad rebates, secret discounts that allowed Standard Oil to transport oil at lower costs than its competitors. By undercutting prices, he forced smaller refiners out of business, often buying them for a fraction of their worth. In 1872, during what became known as the Cleveland Massacre, Rockefeller acquired 22 out of 26 competing refineries in Cleveland. This aggressive expansion strategy consolidated Standard Oil's dominance and turned the city into a major refining hub. By the early 1880s, Standard Oil controlled 90% of the U.S. oil refining industry, earning it the nickname the Octopus for its monopolistic reach. However, Rockefeller's success came with controversy. His cutthroat tactics, secretive deals, and domination of the market drew criticism from the press and the public. The tide turned against him when Ida Tarbell, a journalist whose father's refinery was destroyed by Standard Oil, published a series of exposes in the early 1900s. Her investigative work revealed Standard Oil's unethical practices, including corporate espionage, bribery, and predatory pricing. The backlash reached its peak in 1911 when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Standard Oil to be an illegal monopoly under antitrust laws. The company was ordered to dissolve into 34 smaller entities, including modern giants like ExxonMobil and Chevron. Ironically, this breakup increased Rockefeller's wealth as the value of his shares in these companies skyrocketed. By the time he retired, Rockefeller had become the world's first billionaire. In 1913, John D. Rockefeller established the Rockefeller Foundation, signaling a shift from ruthless businessman to one of history's most prominent philanthropists. Throughout his life, Rockefeller adhered to the principle of giving back, donating at least 10% of his income to charitable causes. By the time of his death in 1937, he had given away over $540 million, equivalent to billions today. The Rockefeller Foundation focused on transformative initiatives in education, medicine, and scientific research. Its funding contributed to eradicating hookworm disease in the southern United States, advancing agricultural practices, and establishing institutions like the University of Chicago and Rockefeller University. These contributions had far-reaching impacts, saving countless lives and shaping the fields of public health and education. Rockefeller's son, John D. Rockefeller Jr., carried on his father's philanthropic legacy. He spearheaded projects like the construction of the Rockefeller Center in New York City and invested in environmental conservation efforts, including the creation of national parks. However, the family's dedication to philanthropy also marked the beginning of the gradual decline of their immense wealth. By the mid-20th century, the Rockefeller fortune was valued at $360 billion in today's dollars, but sustaining it across generations proved increasingly difficult. As the family expanded, so did the distribution of wealth among heirs, leading to a dilution of their financial power. The Rockefeller family, once the wealthiest in the world, faced inevitable challenges in maintaining their vast fortune. By the mid-20th century, their wealth was distributed among hundreds of heirs, significantly diluting the financial power concentrated in John D. Rockefeller's era. A key factor in the decline was the family's prioritization of philanthropy over wealth accumulation. Generations of Rockefellers donated billions to causes like environmental conservation, education, and the arts, further reducing their financial reserves. While these contributions solidified their reputation as benefactors, they also made it challenging to sustain their fortune. Additionally, the family's dominance in the oil industry diminished as global markets evolved. The rise of alternative energy sources, international competition, and the declining influence of ExxonMobil and Chevron, offshoots of Standard Oil, eroded their market share. By the 21st century, the Rockefeller name was more closely associated with institutions like the Rockefeller Foundation and landmarks like the Rockefeller Center than with vast personal wealth. Despite these challenges, the Rockefellers remain influential, with their legacy reflected in the industries they shaped and the causes they supported. Their story serves as a testament to the transient nature of wealth, the power of philanthropy, and the enduring impact of ambition and innovation. The journey from John D. Rockefeller's rise in 1839 to the present day is a compelling tale of fortune, influence, and legacy. The story of the Rockefeller family is one of unmatched ambition, ruthless strategy, and immense influence. From John D. Rockefeller's rise as the first billionaire to the family's dedication to philanthropy, their legacy shaped the world in ways few others have. Yet, their staggering $360 billion fortune serves as a reminder that even the greatest empires can decline. Today, the Rockefeller name lives on, not in vast personal wealth, but in institutions, foundations, and a legacy of innovation and charity. From the Rockefeller Foundation to landmarks like the Rockefeller Center, their impact remains woven into the fabric of modern society. But their journey raises questions. What truly defines success? Accumulating wealth or using it to leave a lasting mark? Can any fortune, no matter how vast, withstand the test of time and generations? So, the next time you hear the name Rockefeller, remember their story isn't just about money. It's about vision, power, and the fleeting nature of even the mightiest fortunes. What do you think? Is this the ultimate success story, or a cautionary tale for the ages?